All right, we are started. Countdown is on the way. The score is now 1-1. The map is Ohana, and we'll have to see. I don't. Would the spine crawler rush even work on this map? This
I
seems
don't
like
think
a
this is one
horrible
of those.
map
That's
for it.
one of those builds that you do once in a best of five, in
Well, I'm
my
not
opinion.
saying he should do it again. I was just thinking about it on this map, though.
Oh,
I don't like with the
no, I
ramp.
don't think it's good on this map
Yeah.
with that high ground. Like Cloud Kingdom is good for it because there's no high ground advantage on the natural. Um, Daybreak might be good for it.
Yeah.
I
No,
like that. I
Daybreak's
like the
definitely good for it. Daybreak's a really good map for it.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's interesting. It's like I wonder if we'll see a straight up game. I mean, both these guys got their cheese builds out of the way. I mean, I guess this is the 8 gate all in. You call that what you want, but the point is, it was very all in-ish, very aggressive build. They both got their really aggressive builds out of the way. Are we going to see a straight up long macro game? I don't know. But in the bottom right hand location, we have the orange Protoss player, Desrow, currently tied 1-1 with his opponent in the top left, the pink Zerg player, Machine.
What are your thoughts on the new creep, by the way? The way it looks on the
The new
mini
creep?
map.
Is it lighter?
Yeah, it's much lighter.
Me personally, I kind of like the feel of all the new graphics, in my opinion. Like the Fog of War is a little bit darker.
I don't like
Or
the creep. Everything else I like, but the creep,
why not?
I like the way it looked before.
Oh,
You know, when you got the screenshots of someone's sick creep spread, which is just this giant purple glob, and
oh, sure,
now
yeah,
it's not as powerful looking.
yeah. I see your point. I definitely see your point. But I think like with the new patch, I mean, most people don't like change, so most people just be like, oh, I don't like it. But a month later, like no one's gonna be talking about it. I don't think,
Good point.
in my opinion. Everyone will be like, all right, everyone will be used to it, and like it won't be an issue. But my SC2 has been not cooperating with me lately, so
Yeah. Despite the bugs, I like everything about the patch really for the most part.
yeah.
I mean, next like little bugs with changing regions and the larva bug that happened for a little bit and a couple other little things. But other than that, I don't have any problem. Now we do see Machine taking that third base. The probe denied it at the natural. Queen is started for Machine. No lings just yet. Nexus first from Desrow. Pretty normal play for Ohana.
Yep. Both these players not taking a gas just yet. More importantly, Machine not taking a gas just yet because consider we saw it really fast in the last game. Desra going to spot this though. He's going to spot the third as well, or the natural, or whatever you want to call it. The second hatchery going up at the third location. Probably see a hatchery at the natural expansion as well before gas. I would not be surprised to see that. And this is one of those maps that it is very possible to see go into the later game compared to what we have been seeing. What is good on this map is the Immortal All-In, so that's like I feel like that's one of the exceptions to that. It can be very strong on this map, but again, like your natural is relatively easy to hold, so going up to 3 bases is not too crazy of a stretch, and we'll see what happens. Kind of like a Entombed Valley-esque, in my opinion, in that regard, as far as taking a third is concerned. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit harder on this map, but it's doable. Only one choke leading to your side of the map that you really have to worry about, assuming your natural is defended well, like with a couple cannons.
Yeah. The cool thing about this map is it's pretty easy to just do complete wall offs and
Yeah.
and eventually you just take your third base and leave a hole there. It's overall a comfortable map for most players. Not too many people complain about it. Late game for Zerg can be hard whenever it's difficult to get a 5th base, but that can also be said for Protoss player. Taking the 4th can be a pain as well. So
Yep.
overall, it's a pretty... And there we go again, Machine doing that 3-queen opener at his third hatchery. I really like that. I think that's really cool the way he does that.
Yep, I do too. And he's already starting on these rocks. Not enough Zerg players do this. Attacking it with both his queens and a ling. Of course, you want to get those down as soon as possible so you can easily defend both locations. You can easily get units back and forth. You don't have to worry as much about force fields on your natural expansion ramp if your opponent is attacking your third. So pretty cool play in that regard. Desrow, meanwhile, let's see what he's up to. Warp gate is on the way. +1 is on the way. Has 3 additional gateways going down. And it looks like this is going to be some 4-gate pressure as of right now. He's going to add either a Robo or Twilight here at his Nexus. Okay, it's going to be Twilight. So to me, this looks like a 4-gate push into +2 Blink Stalker all in. The Twilight's going to finish right around with when +1 finishes out of the Forge, which means he can start +2. And if he starts Blink around that time too, he'll have a nice +2 Blink timing push. We'll have to see if he adds gas to his natural expansion. If he does, I think he's more likely to do that, but we'll keep an eye on that. And there are the 2 gases at his natural expansion, so I think that's what it's going to be. But what's important here is actually scaring your opponent with this initial 4-gate aggression. Getting a probe across the map, getting a pylon down, getting a stalker out there, clearing up the links, but Desrow doesn't even have a stalker, which is actually a little bit surprising to me.
DT as well.
Oh, really?
Very fast start trying.
Okay. Interesting. And we already have a layer on the way for Machine.
Yeah, layer should be done. If he starts an Overseer right away, he should have it by the time DTs arrive, but that's if he starts an Overseer back home. He doesn't have an Evolution Chamber. Up there goes one, finally going down. The DT Shrine is halfway done.
Oh, no.
This might do a little bit of damage to Machine. This could be scary. It all depends on, does he build multiple Overseers and does he build Spore Crawlers? Because I don't think he's going to scout this. This Overlord is the closest to it, and I don't see him scouting with that.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing that lately, has he? Yeah, I mean, it comes down to scouting this, and we don't have any Overlords sacrificing themselves for Machine into his opponent's base. Desrow doing a good job of scaring Machine, making a lot of Zealots here, and pushing him towards the 3rd base. Now the question is, does Machine, like, kind of sense the fact that, okay, you know, he's not attacking as hard as he could be right now. What's he doing behind this? Is he taking a 3rd? Is he teching up? Is he teching up to DT? But look at this. Machine is actually pulling all these drones, and these Zealots getting quite a few kills. Some Roaches in the field now, but just now 3 DTs being warped in. And there's no Overseer, there's no Spore Crawler anywhere, so these DTs are definitely going to do some damage.
Oh yeah, the hatch is getting target fired right now. It is definitely going to fall. This is really bad for Machine. He's already lost a handful of drones. The results will eventually be cleaned up. We have 2 Overseers in production, but I mean the hatch has already fallen, and this is a rough moment for Machine. I mean, there's not much to, like, you can try and come back from here, like go for a fast 3rd base again.
Yeah.
But or do you go for a 2-base all-in? But either way, I mean, the amount of damage that these DTs have done is already paid for themselves by far. Taking out that hatch is so important.
And this is actually a really cool build. And Desrow's doing what I talked about earlier, going for the +2 Blink Stalker all in. He did enough damage with the Zealots and the DTs where this is going to be a really easy win for him, I think. Just attack with a bunch of Blink Stalkers. And also you have Archons able to be mixed in. You have a DT, you can try to snipe Overseers and whatnot. So, and Machine's only on 2 bases. Doesn't have a lot of spines.
And he's droning right now. He's trying to go back for a macro game, and with this all-in coming from Desrow, he's got Archons mixed in as well. +2 Archons are going to destroy this army for Machine. He has no upgrades.
And he's supply blocked. Overseer just got killed. And Overseer's getting killed isn't fun either, because then the DTs can just do whatever they want. However, Machine doing a good job trying to deny these pylons. It's definitely a good idea. Zealot being warped in to try to deal with those Zerglings, and Desrow going straight up into the National Expansion with an Archon and plenty of Stalkers targeting down the Overseer, and now the DT can do anything he want, but it just died.
There's 2 Overseers.
So it can't. Oh, okay. There's a second Overseer. Got it. Desrow's going to back away for now. Machine holding strong. But again, Desrow can just keep warping in units, warping in units, warping in units. Machine can't necessarily do that. He doesn't have a 3rd on the ground. His economy isn't as strong. Though, he is adding on an Infestation Pit, so if Pathogen Glands can get done, I guess that will be okay for him. I mean, he can get Fungal Growths on these Blink Stalkers and then try to do damage in that regard. Has +2 missile attacks on the way. The question is, does Desrow eventually drop back and take a 3rd, or does he just keep pressing?
Well, he's going for a Robotics Facility right now, which I think is smart, just in case Burrow comes out of nowhere. You want to be, able to hold that off. Also, Infestors could be a big problem. He takes with the rocks. I mean, she might as well keep up this aggression. These +2 Blink Stalkers are going to be so cost efficient. He's going back in the natural. Nice blinks from Desrow so far. Roach is coming forward. They do have speed. They have +1 attack now. Queen's coming forward as well. This control from Desrow is pretty solid. He's only lost a couple Stalkers so far. The Roach count is starting to fall. He's actually missing a handful of Blinks here. He's lost about 4 or 5 Stalkers, but he just has way too much. Blinks on top of the Roaches. The Queens are going to fall. Without injects, without a 3rd hatch just yet, he's going to fall behind. Now, we have 30 Lings about to pop out. With that, he might be able to clean up the Stalkers, but with more Stalkers reinforcing, I think this is definitely looking DG for Machine.
Yeah. Desrow way too strong. The Lings are 0-0. Keep that in mind. 4 Infestors on the way, but they're going to take too long. And there's the GG from Machine. Desrow takes game number 3 and takes a 2-1 lead.
Yeah,
Not too
and
shabby.
this is a best of 5, which means if Desrow wins this next game, he wins $50. And either way it goes, I mean, Machine has to go 2-0 now to be able to win. That's going to be difficult.